All right, what is good, everybody? Happy Wednesday night. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hope you're all doing well to the 161 Mafia. Let's do a quick roll call here. We got Aiden's in the house, 4Trains in the house, Hayden. All right, the crew is here. What is up, gang? Anthony Lapari's in the house. What is going on? What is going on? Who else we have here? Giants. Sanchez hit him. Edmund blocks Oakland, backs Oakland, D-backs Oakland or Rockies. Gary Sanchez. Who else we got here? Let's do a quick what's up. Bryce is in the house. What's up, Bryce? T Drake's in the house. Vlad, yeah, Vlad definitely has a fetish for the Yankees. He loves trolling them, that's for sure. But it's part of what makes a potential rivalry. So we'll go with that. Or I'll go with that. Who else we got here? Tim King and Jordan's in the house. All right. Love it. Let's see. Sean Browning's in the house. What is good? And what is good, everybody? Keith is in the house. Keith Califf, what's up? Billy Branch, my man. Julio Espinoza, what's up? All right, we got a crew here. I love it. Happy Wednesday, everybody. What are your thoughts? Yeah, Aiden, Mike Clevenger. Yeah, I put that on a video yesterday. Where he was under federal investigation for sexually child abuse of his 10-month-old and sexually abusing the mother of his kid. So not cool. Not cool, Mo. Not cool at all. So it's terrible. Lorenzo's in the house. Edwin, hey, what's up, my man? What is up? Chicken Pond, baby. What's happening, man? All right, man. So Jonathan's in the house too. Yeah, maybe we'll get to this too. I don't see a future with Torres. Yeah, we'll talk about this, but just want to get your feedback on the Hall of Fame. Scott Rowland's in, right? 76.3% of the vote. Just made a cutoff. What are your thoughts? Do you think it's justified? D-Rod, baby. What's good? What do you think? Yeah, very encouraging. Cashman saying we're not done. Yes, sir. You and I have been talking about this for a while. We both keep saying they're not done. G-Man's in the house. Exactly, Billy. Cashman's not done until the trade deadline. That's right. Yeah, Jeff Kent missing is crazy. Todd Helton missing is crazy too. I mean, it's how in the hell did he miss? And Kent falling falling back is just he's probably one of the best offensive second basemen of all time. He's also a solid defender. Helton was one of the best hitters in his generation. Both of their stats are superior to Rollins. I mean, they're all elite defenders. I'll give them that. So, I just don't understand. And this is not a knock on Roland. How does he make it and Helton and Kent don't? That's my most curious question. Ed, you say no way Helton. Why shouldn't Helton not get in? His away stats are not that far from his home stats. So why do you think he should not get in? And Billy Wagner too. Billy Wagner's another one who should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know how in the world he's not in either. Pete Rose, I think, should be in too. I mean, it's just, it's really, I don't know. It's really confusing. Orioles interested in Profar and Greinke. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So the Royals think they're going to bring back Greinke too. So maybe, Anthony, I might have a couple of trivia questions under my sleeve too. Wagner choked. I mean, sometimes. Well, Wagner is one of the best. I actually think he's in the Hall of Fame, Billy Wagner. Beltran. I mean, he's close. He's definitely borderline Beltran. He was one of the better hitters in his generation as well. So the away stats are not that different. The away stats, folks, would love to have. He batted almost 290 away and 345 at home. If people batted 290 that and had 150 home runs, something like that, you add it up. They're not as far as folks think, but his away stats are just as impressive. So his home stats are crazy impressive. Yeah, they would think they're going to be better, sure. But he was an elite defender as well. He was good across the board. So I can't knock that, man. Can't knock that. Hayden, next year I think we should go for Machado or Ohtani. Probably Machado if Andres Chaparro doesn't pan out. Probably Machado if he opts out. But Wagner, I think yeah, you're right. Actually, Sean, Wagner has not. Just keep missing. So it's crazy. since we reset the luxury tax next year, money off the books. Maybe the Yankees actually have about $100 million coming off the books, more than I thought. They'll reset every layer of penalty if they'll be like at 198 million or something like that, just under 200 million. So, and the first threshold 233, so they can reset everything. Even if they brought in a $30 million player this year in a trade or whatever, and it got up to 320 and it still got 100 million off or whatever it was, it would still be under the first threshold, which is nuts. I don't think they're going to do that, but mathematically speaking, they would be. So A-Rod, Bonds, and Clemens. I mean, look, man, Clemens never failed a drug test. Went to court, never lost in court, ever. I don't know why he's not in the Hall of Fame. Bonds, I could see that, and A-Rod, I could see, Bonds, obviously, he never failed it either, but it's pretty obvious. He's the kind of the poster child for steroids. A-Rod got popped twice, so it's a touchy one. It's a touchy one. No, and yeah, Pettit too. I mean, I said this the other day. I mean, Pettit, and Kurt Schilling. Kurt Schilling's postseason stats might be a little bit better, but Pettit has almost 50 more wins in his career than Kurt Schilling does. He didn't get 3,000 strikeouts. Schilling did, but if you look at his stats, he's right up there. So I think he's a borderline guy. So if Schilling ever gets in, I think Pettit should probably get in too. Big Papi's already in, but he was also very popular, whereas Bonds and A-Rod were not really popular with the sports writers. So Papi was popular everywhere. He was beloved. So, and then that was right around when he became kind of like the face of Boston once the Boston Marathon bombing happened. He stood up and kind of got in front of it. So he got, the people, he was beloved in Boston. He was one of the greatest postseason hitters ever too. He was phenomenal. I mean, really, CC's eligible after 2024. I think he should be a first ballot guy. He's got like 255 wins, 3,000 strikeout. I mean, his stats are superior to Schilling's as well. Mattingly, I mean, if you look at Mattingly's stats versus Todd Helton, Todd Helton probably had the stats that Mattingly had, but twice as long. So, I would have both of them in there, to be honest with you. But I just wish Mattingly had a couple more years of healthy baseball, because I think he would have made his case a lot easier. But you could still do a lot as a manager. That's how Torre got in. He got in as a manager. So Joe Torre. Yeah, CC's eligible after 2024. So you got to wait 5 years. His last season was 2019. So once the 2024 season's over, he's eligible. So Thurman Munson, I agree. You look at some of these guys. I have the numbers here. Like Mariano Rivera is a unanimous player, right? And Jeter's one vote off unanimous. But like, how many other folks here? Ken Griffey Jr. He was 3 votes short. Tom Seaver 5 votes short. Nolan Ryan 6 votes short of being unanimous. Cal Ripken Jr. was about 8 votes short. Ty Cobb was 4 short. George Brett, Randy Johnson was 15 votes short. Greg Maddux, how many was he short? 16. I'm looking. Babe Ruth was short of that. Who the hell was not going to vote Babe Ruth into the Hall of Fame? Honus Wagner, Ty Cobb. How do folks not vote these folks into the Hall of Fame? Ichiro Suzuki, I think it might be 2024, 2025. No, it's a 5 full year waiting period. Bryce, I don't, believe me, I don't, which is why I don't know who's saying the Yankees didn't. They're close on Brian. They're not close on Brian Reynolds yet. Nobody would know until it happens. Cashman doesn't leak anything, and he doesn't leak to people who are going to leak to other channels. And these channels don't have sources inside. Come on, let's be real. Okay, that's just, we'll know if it happens when it happens. Unfortunately, and that's just it's unfortunate, but it is the thing. So, but I can't stand the fake sources putting out this stuff, and they're not close. As much as we want them to be, they're not close. No. Yeah, Phil Rizzuto. But look at these other, Ricky Henderson was 28 votes short. Willie Mays was 23 votes short. Who's not going to vote Willie Mays into the Hall of Fame? And Babe Ruth, what is going on? What is going on? It's crazy. Who else we got here? Roberto Clemente was 29 votes short. Like, these guys are some of the greatest ever. Some of the greatest ever. And how do you not unanimous like Greg Maddox and Randy Johnson and Babe Ruth and like Ted Williams? How do you not unanimous those guys? So it's crazy. But I think Cashman's working on something too, Hayden. I would agree with that. I agree with that. But we just don't know what that something's going to be. That's what he does. He doesn't leak. Right? And he's very zip-lipped, and it's just that's the way he wants it. And I get it. Because he doesn't want people. Because then again, if something leaks and then people can jump in, it's not smart for him to leak anything. So it's not. Yeah, that's why he doesn't leak. Verlander. Well, the guys we have now, Tim King and Jordans. Let's see. Verlander, no doubt about it. He's going to be first ballot. Kershaw, first ballot. Scherzer, first ballot. Cabrera, first Trout. All those guys are going to be, in my opinion, first ballots. I think Nelson Cruz will probably be up there as well. Probably first ballot or second ballot. Guys like that. But I think Nelson Cruz is definitely going to get in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, Nettles is another one. Scott Rowland. Yeah, Sean, the Yankees, exactly. They're like Fort Knox, man. When it comes to intel, yeah, they don't leak to people. That's why I don't believe these channels that say, "Oh, my inside source is telling me," because they told. If you're gonna lie to people, at least try to make it believable. But I don't like doing that stuff. It's not fair to the people that watch the videos. It's not fair to you guys and gals. That's why I don't do it. Pujols, Yadi Molina, I think will definitely get in the Hall of Fame. DeGrom, I don't think he doesn't have enough stats, Hayden. Pujols, 100%. DeGrom doesn't have enough years of longevity. If he plays out a good contract with Texas, then maybe. What's up, Hawaiian? What's up, baby? Adrian Beltre. That's who I was thinking of. Adrian, yes, thank you. D-Rod. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not gonna. Yeah. No, I don't know, man. But I mean, they're both on the green here, and Cashman knows they can't be done. They have to address left field, and the bullpen to a degree. They've said they want to do both. So, and I think they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. Do they have enough depth in the minors, or guys that are depth pieces to offset Frankie Montez being hurt? Like, what are they going to do there too? Is the other question. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's criminal that Pete Rose is not in there. He's like banned on baseball. I think it sucks for what he did as a manager, not as a player. He should be in as a player, no doubt. No doubt about it. Jack Flaherty. Who you talking about, the pitcher? Altuve's not yet at the Hall of Fame level. Jack Flaherty, the pitcher, is not at Hall of Fame. There's no way. Yeah, he's not a Hall of Fame. Wainwright, maybe, but I don't know. I'm going to look at his body of work here. Let's check out Adam Wainwright. But Flaherty is nowhere near Hall of Fame. Might be good right now. I mean, like these other guy, Corbin Burns is not a Hall of Famer. Let's see. Jack Flaherty. No, he's only 27 years old. He hasn't even played long enough. No, there's no way. Adam Wainwright. Let's check out Adam Wainwright. 41. What are his career stats? 195 wins, 117 losses, 338. He probably won't get in. Yeah, I mean, if things keep trending that way, Arenado, Goldschmidt, even Machado have a chance, but they have to put up several more years of good performance. Chris Carpenter? Nah, I doubt it too. But let's take a look. Okay, Chris Carpenter. Let's pull up his stats. He is career 144, 94, 376 now. I don't think he'll get in. Hall's becoming like society. Everybody has to go. Yeah, I mean, and this is what I said the other day. If Poppy, like, if you're gonna let Poppy in, like, what's the standard? If you're gonna let Poppy in, how do you not let Bonds or A-Rod in? Their stats are better than Poppy. So, at what point Does a standard change? And do folks actually acknowledge that, you know? No. Clemens, Bonds, and A-Rod. I mean, those guys definitely had Hall of Fame stat careers. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Piazza is in the Hall of Fame, as he should be. As he should be. So, Buster Posey, probably. Probably. Garrett Crochet, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, if they can move Gleyber Torres, moving Gleyber Torres for Garrett Crochet probably opens up enough salary for them to address left field and not go over the threshold. So, but one way or another, they're still going to do something for both positions. So, I think Bryce Harper. Oh yeah, I mean he's trending now. He's not there yet, but he's trending that way. I think Trout could retire today and go to the Hall of Fame. Mark McGwire. Bernie, to me, Chicken Parm is borderline, but he was a great player. Great player. So, Bauer News 9. Yeah, because nobody signed him yet, Yushin. So I'm not surprised, you know. I'm not surprised at all. Madison Bumgarner, yeah, he's unfortunately hasn't done enough to get into the Hall of Fame, but he is a huge big game pitcher. But let's pull up Madison Bumgarner here and see how we let's see. Madison Bumgarner, 33 years old. His stats, he is 134 and 121 with a 342. Yeah, I mean, you got to get to like a 200 wins, I think. I think one of the few 200 pitchers that it's in the Hall of Fame doesn't have 200 wins is Sandy Koufax. Posada, I think, is borderline too. Hideki Matsui hasn't done enough to get into the Hall of Fame, unfortunately. But I mean, even Mark Teixeira couldn't even get enough points to stay on the, and he had 400 plus home runs. He couldn't even stay on the ballot. You got to get over, I think, 5%, and he couldn't even do that, which is unfortunate. So, Strawberry's the same. Strawberry's the same, yeah. Feeding narcissism. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, Wookie. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Alfonso Soriano's another one. He's got 400 plus home runs. He's a borderline guy, too. Miguel Cabrera is going to be first ballot, Lorenzo, no doubt. 250 is the new 300. Well, it's really hard to get 300. I mean, but if you're going to have 250 wins, you got to have 3,000 strikeouts, too. I think in order to have a shot at getting in. Which is why, like, you know, Schillings doesn't have 250, but he's got 3,000 strikeouts. So Sabathia's got 250 something plus 3,000 strikeouts. So Tommy John's got surgery. Yeah, he does. Yeah, Robert. Is he not in the Hall of Fame? Pujols definitely first ballot. I mean, that goes without saying. That goes without saying. You know. Cabrera, Pujols. We got a lot of guys that are going to be first ballots. A lot of guys in baseball right now that'll be first ballots. So, which is good. So it just shows that, you know, the sport's continuing. And then younger guys like Trout will be the next kind of generation of guys, and Bryce Harper, generation of guys to get in. Yeah, and it's another thing, Manny Ramirez. Like, if they're going to allow juicers in, then he's got to be part of that conversation. So is A-Rod, so do Bonds. Like, those three guys. Even Sammy Sosa, because he's got 600 plus home runs too. Like, Edgar Martinez is in the Hall of Fame, and really so. He was one of the best DHs of all time. Juan Soto's not there yet. He's too young. It's only had like three seasons or 4 seasons. You got to have at least a dozen before people, at least in my opinion, people to even continue considering. Yeah, I mean, the Stein ceiling scandal probably hurt Altuve, but if he puts up, you know, gets 3,000 hits or something like that, it's going to help his cause. That's for sure. So, Tim Lincecum, yeah, I mean, he was brilliant too. Unfortunately, he didn't last longer in the majors due to the injury problem. So, Bobby Cox, the first Hall of Famer to appear in a Yankee Union in Tampa, tops rookie. Oh, that's I didn't realize that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is a good fact right here. Miggy's only player with 500 home runs, 3,000 hits, and a triple crown. I mean, he's definitely going to first ballot. One of the best hitters in this generation. So, Ohtani, if he keeps going, maybe, but he's going to need a dozen. You know, he's going to need like 7 or 8 more years, like he puts up, in order to have a shot. So, I mean, you need a dozen really, really, really dominant years, I think, to be eligible. So, Yeah, and it's just, so he's got a while to go. But he's definitely an exciting player, that's for sure. I don't think he stays with the Angels. I think the Dodgers are probably, going to be pull out all stops to get him. Oh, that's true. Yeah, Altuve cheated. So did Correa. So did Alex Bregman. Like a lot of those guys, unfortunately. So Freddie Freeman, well, he's trending in that direction, but he still has more years to put up. But he's definitely looking good, Freddie Freeman. That's for sure. Hit hard, no doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about Lincecum, his pitching mechanics were crazy. So yeah. No, Rizzo's not yet. Anthony Rizzo. I mean, nobody in the Yankees right now is close to the Hall of Fame. If Stanton gets to 500 home runs, he'll have a good shot. 500. He's got like 378 or 380 or something like that right now. So he's got a shot at getting another 500 with the Yankees. So which I hope he does. So if he goes into the Hall, I hope he goes in with the Yankees uniform. Just like I hope CeCe goes in with the Yankees uniform. Well, and Judge will have to get to 500 home runs too, T. Drake, which I think is possible during these 9 years. That'll put him in good footing. Jose Ramirez needs a bunch more years, but he's another guy. Yeah, he's you continue that guy. Oh yeah, Yankees go after Ian Happ and Kyle Hendricks because I think both me. Yeah, it's possible. I wonder what it would cost to get both of them. So I would say probably Brian Reynolds, Sean, because Profar's price tag is high for free agency. But you never know. You never know. I mean, they both switch hit, which they can both play leadoff hitter, which would be a perfect scenario for the Yankees. Perfect scenario for the Yankees. That's what I would do. I would lead off one of those guys, then go DJ second, Judge third, Rizzo fourth, Stanton fifth, Bader sixth, Oswaldo Cabrera seventh, Oswald Peraza eighth, Jose Trevino ninth. That's how I would do it. Chris, yeah, I mean, Brian Reynolds is a perfect fit for this team. Perfect fit. Kershaw is 100% going to Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Fame right now. Kimbrel's not a Hall of Famer yet. So Manny, his stats, easy Hall of Fame. But again, the juicing, he's juicing way too much, man. He got busted like 5 times. No, I get it, Chris. A lot of people don't want to give up on the Martian, so I get it. And that's totally fine, too. DJ, yeah. I mean, this is the thing, too. Like, I think the Yankees having, like, the DJ and Oswaldo Cabrera could be both super utilities on this team. 2 guys that can just get regular playing time and play all over the field. And I mean, Oswaldo Cabrera can play infield and outfield. He's a perfect Ben Zobrist type. And DJ can play all over the infield, which, again, to have a good backup at third or first, like, do a lot. And it gives the Yankees a lot of versatility. We don't know, Aiden. We have no idea if they're close to trading either one. I don't think they're going to trade Donaldson. I'd be shocked if they did. We have no idea if they're close or not. Ryan Reynolds, TJ. Yeah, I mean, it's just Torres is a good-looking bat, but he has to improve on the defense. But again, we have a glutton of the infielders, and if they want to make room for Anthony Volpe, they're going to have to do it by moving somebody like Gleyber Torres, unfortunately. So, Jack, I appreciate that. Yes, 2025. Okay, yeah. Oh God, Ichiro is going to be first ballot, no doubt about it. Appreciate that. Thank you for the donut, Jack, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, Andujar got released by the Pirates. DFA didn't release, so it's like he's a guy without a team, unfortunately. So, and I have a feeling the same thing's going to happen to guys like Esteban Florial and some players like that who are just not going to be able to stay with a team long term, which is unfortunate. Well, who's your favorite player, Hayden? Tatis already hurt his chance with a P. Tatis has hurt as well. I don't think the Yankees are getting him. But he might have hurt his chances of getting traded somewhere. But if he shows that he's healthy and performs well, and somebody wants him, I think the Padres probably move him. Now because they brought in Xander Bogaerts and Tatis is supposed to play the outfield now. But if they get a good enough prospect package back, they'll probably move him. But he's a top 5 player in baseball when he's healthy. So yeah, Andrew Jones. I mean, legitimate, ridiculous, defense. Like he was a stud, stud. Sabathia, I see getting in. Yeah, I do think so. Epic. I think we meet the Astros again in the ALCS. I do. I do see that happening. So. Yeah, unfortunately, they're not going to be able. I mean, I'd be shocked if they got rid of Donaldson because his contract's too high. Thankfully, it's only for one more year. It's not. He's not tied up for 5 years like Jacoby Ellsbury or anything like that. So, um, you know, I think that I think it's going to be really hard to move him. Tatis for the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's too early to tell, honestly. I mean, if he puts up 10 or 20 years and he's clean, then I think he'll be fine. Honestly, I do. Like. But I totally get you, Mike D. I totally get you. I mean, it's just Hicks has 3 more years. Yep, 3 years. But if the Yankees eat half it, I could see a team biting and paying $5 million. IKF is better at third. I mean, they're both elite defensively at third base. IKF has a Gold Glove at 2020. IKF is just a better base runner, but Donaldson has a higher ceiling on his bat. But I mean, he seems to be on a sharp decline too. So it's kind of risky either one. Honestly, it's kind of risky either one. So. But we need fast base runners and players guys who are good with runners in scoring position. And the only guy ahead of IKF last year with runners in scoring position on the Yankees was Aaron Judge. So that's not a flashy step, but it's an important one. Yeah. O'Neal Cruz. O'Neal Cruz is a stud. He's a stud. And that's the way it is, Anthony. I mean, I thought it would be a little bit more, but I mean, it's what the writers pick on. That's you get. If you hit 75% of the ballots, then you get in. You get 76.3. Todd Helton missed it by 11 votes, so it's just the way that it happens. Unfortunately, like last year was just Poppy, just Big Poppy. Would I do a Big Mac apple pie if Donaldson got traded? And oh hell yeah, Robert. Yeah. Oh yeah. You got a deal on that, baby. Oh yeah, Robert. Yoshida ding Sox. I have no idea. I mean, they paid him a lot, but if he's I just never know what the Japanese guys like. Like say Suzuki was with the Cubs now. He had a little bit of a down. It took him a while to get adjusted. I think the same thing with Yoshida is going to take a while to get adjusted. So, but they're not expecting him to be the guy. That's what Devers is for. So, he could kind of adapt. But again, Boston's not an easy place to adapt into. So, if they're not happy, then they're going to let you know, just like in New York. So, Cano, I doubt it very, very much. Roland Schmidt have over 300 home runs and at least 8 logos. Yeah, for third base, yeah. Jake McCarthy from the. I mean, he's a small sample size, but like he's got controllable years. I don't pick him over Brian Reynolds, but he's a guy if they can get him. Because they did bring a lot of other outfielders. They brought in Kyle Lewis from Seattle. Like they're very deep in the outfield, so they could still trade Pavin Smith. They could trade somebody else from the outfield and still be okay to Diamondbacks. So Maris, unfortunately, his career wasn't long enough. I think so. Even though he's got, he was a history player, his career wasn't long enough. I think so. That's one reason, one of the knocks against him. Unfortunately, so. Yeah, me personally, I think Volpe will be in spring training, but I think he's going to start the season at AAA and get a little bit more seasoning, and then he'll probably be. I think he'll be called up maybe by June or something like that. But if he made the opening day roster, I wouldn't be that surprised. Yeah, Roy White's another guy. I mean, a great player. Great player. I mean, borderline too. Tulowitzki's not. He doesn't have the Hall of Fame numbers, unfortunately, Lorenzo. But let's pull him up here. Troy Tulowitzki. Let's have a look here. No, I mean, 225 homers, 290 batting average, 1,391 hits. It's not enough. Not enough, unfortunately. So, But yeah, I mean, the writers didn't like certain players. There's a lot of players that the writers don't like. And again, if the writers are the ones making these calls, then a lot of folks didn't like Kurt Schilling. Even though he's a beast. It's a gigantic a-hole, though. So, the same thing with A-Rod. He was a dick to a lot of people. So with Bonds, he was terrible with the media. So those things might be working against him, unfortunately. I'm not sure, T. Drake. I don't see why they would move Stanton. He's their best postseason hitter. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. But if they move him, they move him, T. Drake. I just don't know where and why. He's 32 now. So I don't know who's going to take that much money off his contract. And we like soccer move off season friendly games. I don't know. I mean, I think some of these guys, baseball is the longest season, unfortunately, of all the sports. So, 162 games, not including the postseason. So they definitely need a few months of downtime. Yeah, Chris is a good point too. Third all-time WAR average for third base. He was an elite third baseman. I don't have doubts about him getting to the Hall of Fame. I just I don't see how guys like Jeff Kent and Todd Helton don't get in if he gets in. So it's crazy. Yeah, to catch up the bloody sock. That's right, Hawaiian. Yeah, I don't obsess with like these analytics for WAR and stuff like that. So, but there's a lot of guys that aren't in that I think should be in. And are they graded the same way now that we have WAR and all this stuff? I don't know. Ron Guidry's another one. Borderline Hall of Famers. Stanton's got 5 or 6 more seasons. I think 2028 is his final year. So, and if he averages 25 home runs for those next years, then he's over 500 home runs, which would be pretty darn cool. I'd hate to get him trade somewhere and then hit his 500 home runs somewhere else. That would stink. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't understand that. Yeah, Wagner's one of the greatest left-handed closers of all time. There's no doubt about it. Mariano, obviously the greatest closer of all time, but Billy Wagner's right up there, top 5 of all-time closers. No doubt about it. No. Anthony Bureau, I appreciate that, man. I'm not sure. I'm not in the running for the Hall of Fame, man. I wish I was, but I appreciate that, man. Thanks, dude. Wasn't Kent the big a-hole to report? Yeah, apparently so. Hit it hard. This is true, too. He was pretty testy with reporters, yeah. Cortez had to be crazy. Hopefully. I sure hope so. If Montez shows that he's healthy and pitching well, then he can be moved to the deadline. I think so, Jonathan. I think you're right about that. Trevor Hoffman, yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame. Great, one of the best closers of all time, too. I personally, I don't think the Yankees are going to get Ohtani. I'm not sure if it's a fit here, personally. We'll see. Trade Stanton to the Angels for who, Mike D? Why would they do that? Is the question. Bartolo and David Wright on the left. No, neither one. Bartolo and David Wright, no. Neither one of those guys are first ballot guys. Wink the man. Stanton, yeah, I think he gets to 400 this year, T. Drake. Yeah. I think he's got 378, so he needs 22 to get to 400. I see that happening. So, which would be kind of cool. Kind of cool. I love when they get these milestones with the Yankees. I love it. David Wright. Let's pull up David Wright's stats while we're here. This is good. I'm glad you're bringing up names because we can kind of dissect it ourselves. I don't think David Wright, has done enough here. No. 1,777 hits, batted 296, 242 home runs. Good player, but not Hall of Fame. Coney or Wells, I don't see them getting in, unfortunately. Mark Whitten, wow. He hit 4 home runs in a game. Guidry was fantastic chicken parm. Bell, he's another guy. Yeah, he's Bell, and he also had a degenerative hip and he had to retire prematurely, unfortunately. So, but he was another one that was a monster to people. So, yeah. Yeah, Coney doesn't have. Mark Whiten hit 4 home runs in a game, by the way, and he also played for the Yankees for a little bit. David Cone. Let's pull up Coney stats. Okay, we've got 194 wins, 126 losses, 346 ERA with a perfect game, obviously. And let's see, you won the Cy Young Award in 1994. So I mean, a good career. Just not yet Hall of Fame, unfortunately. But I loved him when he was at the Yankees. I think Joe Mauer probably gets in with the catcher. Like, let's pull up Joe Mauer while we're here. Come on, Joe Mauer, again, one of the more well respected, and he did it right by moving to first base when he did. He really Dow Strawberry doesn't have enough stats to get in with the man, unfortunately. All right, Joe Mauer, 2,100 hits, 143 home runs, batted 306. Yeah, I think he gets into Hall of Fame, Joe Mauer, as a catcher. Him and Yadi Molina, and then you have guys like now Adley Rutschman and some of these other guys. Maybe Wilson Contreras, if he has a couple more good years, he could probably get in as well. What's up, Dev? Jim Edmonds, he's another guy. I mean, he was probably one of the best defensive players I've ever seen at center field. So I love Jim Edmonds. So I mean, this one is 1,949 hits, 393 home runs, batted 284. So that, like, with elite defense. Why he's not considered is a great question. I don't know. He would be a good consideration, though, Jim Edmonds. Vida Blue. I know he was pretty legit too, Vida Blue. He was with the A's when they had that three-peat. Let's see. And didn't he win? He had a couple seasons where 300 strikeouts or close to them. Let's see. Vida Blue. 209 wins, 161 losses, 327 ERA. Another good career. A good career. One is sub 2 ERA once. 1, 2, 3. 3-time 20-game winner. He also had 2,100 strikeouts. I mean, it's right there, man. Right there. Dick Allen. Yeah, Dick Allen, no doubt. Playoff performance. Yep. I mean, some of the guys are, the biggest ones out there, which surprised me about guys like Curt Schilling, because he was a beast in the postseason. A beast. An absolute beast. Why is Hall of Fame about people that writes in the, like, not about the players, like Big Papa welcome because he writes them with Barry Bonds? Yeah, I mean, it's a good question, Larry. I don't know. And this is, I think, one of the frustrating things that as to why some people get picked and why some other people don't, or get elected, I should say. Carlos Beltran's a borderline guy, but I have a feeling eventually he will get in as well. One of the better hitters in this generation, even though he has a stink of and he was considered the mastermind of this Astros cheating scandal, but that was also late in his career, so it doesn't really negate. I'm going to pull him up here too. It doesn't really, opinion what he did before that. It doesn't really change what he did before that. So 2,700 hits, 435 home runs, 279. Yeah, I think he eventually gets in. Vlad Guerrero Sr., he's already in. Link the man. Maybe, no, he's not going to Hall of Fame. Vlad's in already, Senior. And deservedly so. He was one of the best right fielders ever. Of all time, one of the best arms in baseball, too. One of the best arms in baseball. So, Posey, I think, gets in the Hall of Fame, yes. Dale Murphy, close. It would have been nice to get him in. Caminiti's in the Padres Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's in the MLB Hall of Fame. My first baseball glove ever, actually, Michael Cole, was a Dale Murphy glove. First ever. Yep. Let's see, Ken Caminiti. Let's pull up Caminiti. Let's have a look here. All right. He passed away, unfortunately, right? Yeah, he did in 2004. He was 1,700 hits, 239 homers, 272 batting average, and unfortunately not enough. Cuellar, doubtful. Tulowitzki, we talked about. He doesn't have enough stats either, Hayden, to get in. I hope so, Carlos, I hope Pete Rose gets in there before he passes on. I mean, I really do. He deserves it. As a player, as he deserves it. You know. Al Leiter, no, he's not a Hall of Fame guy, unfortunately. Arenado's too early to tell, man. Well, this is true too, Chris. Yeah, they embrace PED survivors. It's true. I mean, there's other sports like the UFC that doesn't, like other, these guys just learn how to cycle this stuff around to avoid being testing positive. So they are experts at hiding stuff. And no doubt about it. Got to beat the Astros. And rolling, baby. Catfish Hunter. I think he might be in. Bonilla. Dude is still being paid by the Mets. Still being paid by the Mets. When do I see the next Yankee move? I'm going to say close, right before pitchers and catchers. Right before pitchers and catchers, which is less than 3 weeks. Well, I'm talking about the major league level. I think they'll still make some minor moves and stuff like that, but the next significant one at the major league level, I think is going to happen right before spring pitchers and catches. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's sooner than that. So Joey Votto, if he continues his pace, probably. Lee Smith, I think, is in. Danny Martinez, I think he's in too. Hunter, yeah. Yeah, Barfield had a great arm, but his offensive stats weren't enough, unfortunately. The Mets are still paying Bonet. Yeah, his contract is like, they're paying him like $1 million a year for like the next 30 years or something ridiculous like that. He's been getting $1 million a year for like 30 years now after he retired. It's crazy. No. Yeah, I think they're paying him through the 2030s or something like that, which is nuts. It's some kind of agreement in his contract to get him, I think, to maybe retire early and defer the rest of it or whatever it is. No. Altuve, if he continues to play the way he does, then probably. But not yet. Not yet. So, Votto looks like it. Pedro's in already. Prince Fielder's not going to get in. Pedro's in. I mean, he had to get in. He was one of the best right-handed pitchers in a generation. So, no doubt about it. I'd be shocked if he get in. I'd be outraged if he didn't get into the Hall of Fame. So, Winfield's in. Super nice guy, too. Joe Jack. You talking about Shoeless Joe? I don't think he... After they were indicted for that White Sox scandal, Black Sox scandal, I don't think he was ever... I think he's permanently banned. Yeah, Pedro's in. Oh, they deferred Bonilla because of Matt. Yeah, Bernie Madoff really screwed the Mets, man. The Wilpons. Unbelievable. Michael K. Maybe at some point, but not right now. Maybe one of these years, right? Aramis Ramirez is not going to get in. I highly doubt that. Bone, not as a player. Oh, this is so true too, Yushin. Yeah, exactly. Should be considering how people gambling. Yeah, exactly. So it's just, I think they got to move on past that one. They really, really do. Deion Sanders, probably the best two sports. Yeah, Deion and Bo, yes, 100%. And Otani's getting there, but he's a two-way player, not a two-sport player. Bo and Deion, no doubt about it. Andrews, yeah, one of the best. Yeah, 434 home runs. I mean, I think he needs to get in at some point too, Andrew Jones. I really do. Roberts hasn't done enough as a manager to get in. Aramis Ramirez hasn't done enough to get in. I'd be shocked if he got in from Aramis. Garvey, I don't know if he's in or not. Sparky Lyle. Yeah, Sparky Lyle, man. Oh, heck yeah, Edwin. If you give me $1 million per year in deferred money for like the next 10 years, I'd be a happy camper, man. Steve Garvey, let's see. Steve the Pirate. Let's see. Sterling. 272 runs, 2,600 hits, batted 294. Let's see. Let's check his. No, he's not in. Garvey's not in, which is crazy. The first year Adrian Beltre is eligible, I think he gets in. Tino hasn't done enough, unfortunately, to get in. I love Tino Wink the Man, but he hasn't done enough to get in. No. Shoeless Joe didn't play long enough. Well, that too. Like, it's just, yeah. I mean, that whole Black Sox scandal, it was ugly. It was ugly. So, Palmeiro, he probably won't get in because of the steroids thing. So, unfortunately, but he had Hall of Fame stats, no doubt about it. But this whole, and he's another guy. If they're going to consider Poppy, he's another guy that has to be considered. So, I'm glad you brought him up too. So, Gardner doesn't have a chance to get in the Hall of Fame. Bird, come on now. Come on. Let's be serious. Bird has played like 2 full major league seasons. Check out Aaron's stats. I know his stats are good. So 2,300 hits, 386 home runs, about a 283. So to me, he's going to be like a borderline guy. A borderline guy. But a good career, yes, no doubt about it. Hey, John, what's up, my man? I did see that. I've seen him. I watched Joey Chestnut's channel. The Big Macs. He's like all these crazy things. Pizza. Yeah, he's crazy. But I love watching him. Randy Johnson's already in. Mark. Mo Vaughn won't be in. Carlos Delgado. I don't know if he's done enough to get in either. Bonds. I mean, it's hard to deny his talent. That's for sure. Saberhagen, unfortunately, he won't get in either. Hasn't done enough. Mo Vaughn either, unfortunately, but he's another promising big power guy. But yeah, John, I love Joey Chestnut, man. Love watching him. Wainwright, I don't think gets in. He might fall a little bit short. Rob Manfred, he can't put himself in. He can't do that, Hayden. No, he can't do that, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, actually, he can't. Hush puppies. Ron Say. Oh, man, you're taking it back. Bringing us old school here, Chicken Farm. Yeah, Whitaker, I think, is in. So is Alan Trammell. I think both of them are in, if I'm not mistaken. He's one of the better second base. And that was one of the better second base shortstop combos ever. I know Trammell's in. I think Whitaker's in. If he's not in, he should be. Oh, yeah, man. But that's, yeah. I mean, so I'm glad you brought up all these names. It's good to talk about, get your insights on, because I think some of these folks we forget about. So I didn't even think about some of these guys. So I'm glad you brought them up. So I thank you for that. I really do. David Phelps. Now you're playing games with us, Aiden. Come on, dude. Come on. Yeah. Has to play at least 2 more seasons at elite level. Wainwright, yeah, I'd say at least that. I'd say that. That's why I think he falls short right now. Unfortunately, but it's hard to get to 300 wins. It's hard to get to 3,000 hits. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Biggio, he's in already. Sean. Biggio's in the Hall of Fame. Gary Sheffield, I would agree. Sheffield should be in too. I'd put him in. No doubt about it. I'll take a look at it, Wink the Man. These extreme meters, they're fun to watch. They are fun to watch. These people are crazy. They're crazy. Yeah, those guys, yeah. Darrell Evans was a guy. He was I think he just fell short as well in the Hall of Fame. So my number one guy who should be, and that's not in right now, is Pete Rose. Pete Rose. Yes, they should extend Bader Aiden. The Yankees, I would extend them, and I would not wait until he gets more expensive to do it. So, but who's your number one, Mark Shaw? Jacoby Hellsbury. Moises Alou. Great manager. He's done a lot. Yeah, it's a Whitaker Trammell was a great duo. It really was, Chris. I mean, it's one of the best ever. It really was. Don Mattingly, I would love to see him in. I just wish he had a couple more years of elite play. Yeah, Darren Erstack, Garrett Anderson, Sam and Troy Glaus. I think they had Edmonds at the time. So Troy Percival. That team was crazy good, Tim King. Crazy good. Huh. Pete Rose, the front. I wouldn't say that. He was one of the best hitters of all time. Elston Howard, a great catcher. Yeah, I mean, it is super hard. It really, very, very much, Yushin. It's hard to get 20 wins, too. Some folks act like it's easy, but it's not easy, especially with the talent you're playing against now. Yeah. And there's so many specialties in the games, like 6 pitchers in the game. It's just some more opportunities for them to blow a save for somebody and lose a win. Like, it's just crazy. Jerry, Miguel Cabrera is going to be first ballot. I mean, first ballot, 100%. Randolph hasn't done enough to get into the Hall of Fame, unfortunately. So, great player, though. Good coach and manager, too. He was former captain of the Yankees. Former captain. So, yeah, I hope so, too, Chris. I mean, I know people have opinions on Pete Rose, and I get it. Jaquel Railsbury's never going to get in. He's never going to get in. Joe Jackson, he didn't play long enough either, so. Yeah, it's true, Sean. Less pitchers getting 6 innings, yeah. People are at 100 pitches plus in the 5th. So I was like, it's so hard now to get people in. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, but that's what we have on the Hall of Fame in terms of news. And let me just check really quickly to see if anything's, because I like to break news. And I have a question for you. But let's see if there's any news to break first. Okay. No. Well, Juris Familia, former Mets closer, signed with the Diamondbacks on a minor league deal. And that's pretty much it. Ken Giles is going to do another showcase to try to get back on some team's roster, relief pitcher. So it's another one there. But aside from that, things are relatively quiet right now on the market. So, but that doesn't mean it's not going to just pick up again, because that's what we had. That's what we get, like a day of a bunch of stuff and then quiet days, and then a day of a bunch of stuff and quiet days. So that's kind of the way it's been this whole offseason, unfortunately. So, but it is what it is. Yeah, Billy Wagner should definitely be in. Barry Zito and Tim Hudson haven't done enough, unfortunately. I wish their careers lasted longer. Yeah, D-Rod. They're going to get, those 3 guys are going to get paid like crazy, man. Felix Hernandez, I don't know if he's done enough, unfortunately. His health kind of did him wrong. Let's see. I mean, I wish he would have stayed healthy for like another 5-6 years. He's only 36 years old right now, which is crazy. Yeah, 169 and 136 with a 3.42 ERA. How many strikeouts? 2,500 strikeouts. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. He's got a perfect game in his belt. He's got a couple Cy Youngs, right? One. Actually, just one Cy Young, but he had second twice. So, one Cy Young Award winner. He's a guy that I wish we would have had him a couple more years, man. A couple more years, he would have probably been in. Butling, borderline, I think. Yeah, Shoeless Joe Jackson, unfortunately, that Black Sox cheating scandal. And I think he was banned from the Hall of Fame also, I think. So, we don't know. We'll see. Billy Martin, yeah, would have been nice. Elston Howard, too, another great catcher for the Yankees. Bringing back the names. I love it, gang. I love it. But, yes, there's no news right now. Actually, let's pull up the Yankees. Let's see, before we wrap it up here, and I got to get a trivia question for you, too. Because I've got 2 things. I'll do this first, and I'll give you a trivia question. Nothing right now in terms of Yankee news. Let me just double check here. No. And they're just looking to move, looks like an infielder as well as Hicks and Donaldson. But we know this already. So why didn't they get Benintendi? Well, they did. They offered him, but he got a better deal from the White Sox. So nothing they could do now, Mark Shaw, unfortunately. So, Horace Clark. Bobby Abreu hasn't done enough either. Puckett, yeah, Puckett, no doubt. Nick Williams? Who's Nick Williams? Who is that? Yeah, Elston Howard, unfortunately. Yeah, so it's just a shame. It's a shame, but, it is what it is. All right, now, where's my trivia question? Okay. I have a question for you right here. All right, you guys ready? This is the trivia question for the night. Is there a mercy rule in MLB? And if there is, what is it? What's the number? What's the cutoff for mercy rule in MLB? Don't Google it. Not yet. Give yourself 30 seconds to try to put your answer down. What's the mercy rule in MLB? That's the question of the night. The $1 million question, baby. Walt, no, Nick Williams played for the Nice. I love it. Steve Balboni. Holy moly. Wow. Steve Balboni. I'm here, gang. None. No mercy rule. Exactly. Boom. Chris, Mike, well done, gentlemen. Well done. There's no mercy rule in baseball. None. Little League, different, but your Epic Warrior, exactly. No mercy rule in baseball. So a team could win by 80-4. So it just happens. So Johan Santana is another one who he just couldn't stay healthy long enough to have a great career. But he was brilliant when he was at his best, right? Brilliant. But that's what we got for you guys and gals tonight. So hope you enjoyed it. I thank you for coming on. Wanted to talk about Hall of Fame tonight. We're going to go live on Saturday. We'll have a deeper group here. We'll have some more things to talk about too, because I have a feeling a couple things going to happen from here to then. So I'll definitely keep an eye on everything, and I will put everything out as well. So if there's anybody in here that isn't subscribed to the channel, I hope that you do that before you leave. Francisco Rodriguez. I'm not sure if he's done enough. Now, let me just check that really quickly. Okay. Check Francisco Rodriguez really quickly. I mean, they had some genius seasons, no doubt about it. Francisco Rodriguez. Okay. Yeah, I think Houghton should have gone into. Bartolo Colon, yeah, I mean, he's had a long career too, man. A really long career. K-Rod, who's 41 years old now, 52 and 53 with a 286 career ERA. That's impressive. Now, how many saves total? 437. So, yeah, I mean, he might get in at some point, K-Rod. He might get in at some point. He might. Yeah, 41 likes. Hopefully, everybody smash that like button if you haven't done that yet. I want to try to get to 100 likes if we can. We haven't really had a lot of people tonight, but that's okay. It's slow right now. Really, really slow. So people tend to be disengaged a little bit. I totally get it. But I'm going to keep you informed one way or another. So whether it's slow or not, you'll get everything here, and you know that. So, but all right, let me look at Bartolo Colon before we bounce, and then I'll wrap it up. So since a lot of folks are bringing up Bartolo Colon. Bartolo Colon. Have a great night, chicken parm. I'm going to give my stats here. 247 and 188 with a 4.12 ERA. I mean, he played from 97 to 2018. So 22 years. How many strikeouts did he have? 2,535. So, I mean, he's another guy. Could be a borderline guy. So, Good stats for Francisco Rodriguez. Good stats for Bartolo too, but I don't know if they're going to make it into Hall of Fame. But peace and love to all these. Thanks for coming on. Have a great night. I'll see you all on Saturday.